Hello there, I'm so glad you could join us. Welcome, welcome. Please, do take a seat first. Is there anything I can get you, tea or coffee? No, don't worry, a little extra caffeine wouldn't hurt anyone. Could we get 2 coffees, please? Black, thank you, espressos. I've already had 2 today. So, let me introduce myself. My name is Grizzo, and I am the CEO, COO, and sole shareholder of GRIZZO World Enterprises. We are on very professional platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and now our newest endeavor, YouTube. And I've called this meeting today to discuss an incredibly important topic: how to stay fit working a full-time job. No excuses. All tips and advice are derived from yours truly, someone who worked 12-hour days for several years in investment banking. Now, first on the agenda. Actually, something doesn't feel right. You're going to have to bear with me for a moment. That's what I'm talking about. So much more comfortable. I like to think of Grizzo in the suit as my alter ego twin Grizzo, and comfy Grizzo as the OG Grizzo. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love business suits. I love any kind of structured power dress. I'm not gonna lie to you, I do. But there's something nice about being able to punch things freely and like not flash someone when you sit cross-legged. Okay. Time to get to the good stuff, the valuable stuff. The stuff that I hope is going to make your life so much better. Why did I want to do this video? I'm sure you guys have seen there's loads of videos on social media which are like how I stay fit, what I do in a day, how I keep this healthy lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. Now, I've always loved those videos. I still love those videos. Some of them have some golden bites of information in them. But when I was working a 12-hour-a-day job, I did find it hard to find them that relatable. So I thought, instead of me doing a video of how I stay fit and healthy now, which may not apply to a lot of people, me being one of them for a long time, let's talk about the last 8 years of training and how I worked fitness and health into my lifestyle. I learned from my own experiences, I learned from other people, I learned from my colleagues, all kinds of different fit people who have influenced the way that I approach fitness now too. So I thought I'd collate that information and share it with you guys. In the spirit of business, let's keep things short and punchy. We're going to go through the golden 6 today: timing, flexibility, training style, preparation, nutrition, and acceptance. Those are your golden to-dos if you want to incorporate fitness into your lifestyle whilst working a job. Disclaimer, I do not have children. So if you're working a career, you have children, and you're looking to get fit, firstly, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you, and I know you can do this. But you may just have to tweak some of the advice I give, okay? Because a lot of the advice I give is dependent on the fact that you don't have to care for children as well. But let me tell you right now, I had some badass men and women who were training, had a career and children, and were doing it all. And I know if they can do it, you can do it too. Context. I would get to the desk anywhere between 7 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. and I would leave anywhere between 6 and 7 p.m. on an average day. Some days, i.e. when Brexit happened, I was at the desk at 5 a.m. and some days when I had deals to do with America, I'm in the UK, I would be there until 10. Due to the nature of my job, I was very desk bound from those hours. I would go to pick up lunch, or I would go to the fridge and I would eat lunch at my desk. I would get coffee, I would have coffee at my desk. I didn't often get off the desk because I was in a very fast-paced environment and you never kind of wanted to miss anything. So that gives you a picture of what my job was kind of like. I did generally have Saturdays and Sundays free. So that's the picture. Now, let's get straight into it. Let's start with timing. When is the most optimal time for you to train within the working week? Your options are probably morning, before work, or after work. You may be one of the lucky few that is able to get off for an hour or 2 at lunch and do a quick session then. Either way, this will depend on 2 things: what works best for your actual work schedule and what works best for your energy levels. My options were I could either train before work or after work. After work, I had no energy, so I was never going to be the person that trained after work. I would have to get to the gym at 6 a.m. and I would do a session before hitting the desk. That was number 1. On top of that, I would suggest something called front loading. So I would try and get in as many of the sessions that I could at the start of the week. After the weekend, I tended to be slightly more rested and more motivated So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I would always try and train, usually in the mornings. Also, on Saturdays and Sundays, generally most people are free. Aside from, life, admin, seeing your friends, seeing your family, all the other crazy stuff we have to do as adults, generally you may be able to fit in a more comfortable time to go to the gym. So I would tend to do one of the weekend days and then a few days, maybe 3 or 4 days during the week in the mornings. So ask yourself, can I actually get up to go in the morning? Answer these questions with me. Will you be able to get a session in consistently before work? Are you an early bird? Or will you prefer to go after work? But you have to be honest with yourself. There's no point in making a plan to go after work and then never actually going because you're too tired after work. Then you may have to just shift to the mornings like I did. That leads me on to my second point. You make a plan, so you have this idea and you say, I'm going to go in the mornings. Now, you have to stay flexible. What does that mean, Grizzo? It means although I plan to go in the mornings, for some reason, I am extra tired this week because I've had a lot of meetings or because work has just been crazy, I now may need to change that. I may now need to be flexible, and instead of going tomorrow morning, I may actually have to go tomorrow evening. But I'm aware that I will be tired, so potentially I make it a much lower intensity session and I just go and walk on the treadmill, or I do a 2-kilometer jog. As long as I kind of stick in this rhythm, I keep my body moving, this is going to benefit me in the long run because I'm doing something that is good for me. It means that I'm sticking to a plan. So stay flexible. Create the plan, and then every now and again you have to veer away from the timing plan, and that's okay because you can't control how busy work gets, but you can control how you react around work. Next point, preparation. Now, if you're telling me you have 40 minutes to train, be it morning or evening, and you're telling me that you're going to get there and just see how you feel, that's a difficult one. Because what I used to find when I was doing that, and I did try that for a long time, is I used to get there and I used to spend 10 minutes faffing around figuring out what I was doing. When you've only got 40 minutes to train, 10 minutes of faffing around is a fourth of your session. Don't waste that time. So when I stopped doing that, I started actually creating a plan and going in. You know what happened then? I would make a set plan. I'd say I need to start with this, 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 and this. Occasionally I'd get there and all the machines were taken. And then I'd be faffing around again trying to figure it out. More time wasted. What I would advise is create a plan and then create a backup plan. Have an idea in mind, and also have an idea in mind where if you get there and everything's busy, that you're not going to go faffing around being like a lost deer in headlights. What does that mean? That means you had a plan to do barbell rows. You get in there and all the barbells are taken. Instead of going, oh, well, I might as well call it a day, you walk over to one of the benches and you start doing dumbbell rows. Okay, the benches are all taken. That's okay. We can go over there and do plank rows. The idea is that you make it so comfortable for yourself that it's not stressful for you anymore. You get to the gym and you're like, that's cool, it's taken, I got this. Oh, the gym's super busy today, I got this. Oh, weirdly, this machine is out of order. When time is limited, you don't want to spend time faffing, believe me. You want to know what you're doing. This also massively helps with confidence, by the way. If you're someone who's unsure about going to the gym, going in with a plan and a backup plan and a backup plan makes your confidence so much better. Okay, next one, training style. So, training style is an interesting one because I'm sure there are mixed views about this, but let me start off with saying health and fitness is a marathon, not a sprint. And instead of maybe focusing on what you want to look like, maybe focus on what you want to feel like. And I only say that because if you work, for example, a very intense job that really drains your energy, it is not always easiest to find 2 hours for a hypertrophy lifting session where you take 3-minute rest in between sets. Now, I'm not saying it's not doable, I'm just saying it may be more difficult. And I'm a big believer of not making things too hard for yourself when you're already having a tough time at work or you're already grinding it out. So, let me tell you what I did. Now, before starting work, I was in Muay Thai and I loved Muay Thai. When I started work, I couldn't make the classes anymore because they were usually during the day or too early in the evening for me to get to. So what I did do was then I switched to weightlifting. My ideal was to get to the gym for 6 a.m. sharp. Now, often the first train wouldn't even get me there on time. Or I would get there, I would get to the train station, the train was cancelled on me and I have to wait 20 minutes for the next one. That meant that some days I would get there and I would have 25 minutes before work. For me, what ended up happening is, although I wanted to train proper lifting, although I wanted to get jacked, it wasn't particularly easy. So I would either do a functional circuit, or I would be okay with doing a full body compound exercise and being okay with that. So you have to determine what is the best training style for your lifestyle and energy levels. Like, it's no good saying that you want to do crazy amounts of HIIT if you come home tired every day and you don't even have the energy to explode. Then maybe we do a slower weightlifting schedule. Make the training work for you, not you for the training. So pick a style that works for you. I would add on that, don't compare yourself to people you see on social media or people you see, I don't know, even your friends next, like even your neighbors or your friends. Don't compare yourself to people with different schedules to yours, because they may be able to do a training style that you just can't do right now. And that's fine, good for them. But you focus on you and what works best for you. You will see the most results if you train consistently in whatever way you're training, in whatever way you're able to, rather than you not training until you magically have one day where you can stay in the gym for 3 hours. Okay? What I would add on top of that is, back to our flexibility point, is if you do really love weightlifting and you really do want to do these long sessions, make them work for you on the weekends. Clear out your weekends. You might have to sacrifice some social time and whatnot, but put that session in 2 hours, 3 hours on the weekend and get your weightlifting on. Okay, let's talk about nutrition. So I am vegetarian. So for me, it's always been where I need to kind of calculate a little bit more how I'll get my protein in. And I'll be honest, I was slacking on protein a bit. Again, something with retrospect. I wish someone had told me, hey, make a better plan about this. Check you're having your protein. What I would personally do is Monday to Wednesday, I would meal prep. So on Sunday night, I would cook 3 meals. They were very simple. They'd be something like tofu or a veggie burger with vegetables and rice or pasta. Stuff I could easily pop into the microwave, carry with me pretty easily, and that didn't take too long to make on a Sunday. Because again, I didn't want to be spending too much time of the 2 days I had free a week cooking. Now, I would say, with retrospect, this is something I never tried, but I kind of wish I had, is a meal prep service. Now, again, money is a restraint in this, but if you're someone who is happy to either invest in that or who has the cash available, then I would potentially suggest looking into a meal prep service where they literally send you the meals with the macros completely done and you pop them into a microwave. I never tried that, but in retrospect, I wish that that had occurred to me or someone had mentioned it to me before, because I think that would have saved a lot of time and really helped me hit my goals. So what I would do is I would do half the week meal prep and then 2 days I would just go and eat out. Now, when you're in the city, or to be honest, everywhere is kind of the same. There's sandwich places, there's a few salad places, there's Tesco's, there's Sainsbury's. I would suggest spending maybe 30 minutes on your laptop to sit down and have a look at all the places that are very close to you and say, okay, I'm gonna just check out their menus. I'm gonna check out the nutritional value. How much protein is this one? Which one's the better option? Can I get sauce on the side? Because some of these stuff look healthy in theory, but then the sauces are packed full of sugar, but a lot of them are also fine. So maybe just spend that 30 minutes once, just have a little glance over, make a list of like 5 places that are good. Of course, like on Fridays, it tends to be a bit more relaxed in general, but let's say you're someone who wants to eat out every day. Make a plan, have a look at the different nutritional values. That will come back to you in so much more energy and gains rather than you just kind of winging it. Nothing harder than winging it when you're working a job which is keeping you super busy. Other 2 things, steps. Now, I consider steps to be just general movement. General movement throughout the day is good for you. Sitting in one spot all day, hunched over a laptop, I've been there, is not good for us. So what I would often do is I would just get up after, let's say, 40 minutes of being sat down, and I would just take a spin around the kitchen. Anything to kind of stretch your legs. When I would leave work in the evening, I'd potentially walk to the next bus stop or walk to the next train station, or I'd get off a train station earlier. If I had a meeting, I'd potentially get the stairs instead of, getting the lift up. These small little things may sound very useless, but I promise you they add up and your body just generally feels so much better. In addition to that, water. Make sure you're drinking water. You'd be surprised how many times you think you're hungry or you're craving a snack when really you're just thirsty. So don't forget water. Okay, the last point, acceptance. What does she mean by acceptance? Firstly, be kind to yourself. You're already working your ass off, okay? You're already now trying to add something into your life, which is kind of tough, which is for your health, but it's going to require a bit of grind, especially at the start, and I'm so proud of you for wanting to take that step. What I will say is, you may make a plan, all of these things we've discussed, and you do 2 weeks and they're amazing. Week 3 hits and your boss is saying to you, you need to stay late every night and I need X, Y, and Z every single day. You're suddenly slammed. What you may feel is, wow, I've done 2 whole weeks and now it's gone down the drain. I haven't been able to go to the gym this week. I might as well go out drinking non-stop. I might as well go and eat all the junk in the world and just completely give up on my meal plan. Don't do that. It is very normal. That 1 week where you get super busy is going to be forgotten in the grand scheme of things if you keep doing what you're doing. It's okay if you miss the gym that week, that's fine. Stick to the meal plans, stick to the meal prep, stick to that I'm going for these steps, I'm going to do this stretch around the desk even though I've been working non-stop and I still have so much to do. You know, you can't control when work gets busy, you can't. Our jobs are always going to ebb and flow. Unfortunately, you cannot predict always when work is going to get busy, and that's okay. But you need to accept that it may do that. You need to accept that these things may start getting a little bit more difficult that week or even that month, and that's okay. But if you constantly try and fight against it and then get angry and then go back into bad habits, you're going to create a lot more stress and struggle and just general unhappiness for yourself. So next time you feel like you've been smashing it and then suddenly work comes and you feel this like irritation and you feel like you just want to give up, please remember these words. It is totally normal. You are doing super well. Just because you can't make it to the gym or just because you're so tired that you are going to the gym and you're not really feeling like you're smashing your sessions like you usually do, doesn't mean that everything is lost. You are still doing so well. Just keep at it. Just accept it, be okay with it. When you're at peace with the fact that things may change, I promise you everything else gets so much better. It is going to be worth it. You're going to feel incredible. All of these little tips and tricks you put in, some of them may work for you, some may not. If you have any other tips, please put them in the comments for us. Like, I want us all to share as much of this as possible because so many of you are out there smashing life, but you feel like you can't take on fitness because you're just so busy. Honestly, I found that even when I was super busy, just a little walk or something would make my work so much more productive. And that productiveness and just that general feeling of, you know, being more energetic was so valuable to me. So don't underestimate something like a walk, or don't underestimate, even if you can only do 10 minutes, or if you get there and your session is pretty trash, that's okay. It will help. It all adds up. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Stop judging yourself on like this short-term time frame. You need time. And that is a wrap. We've covered up, short and punchy, all the main things that I learned and that people taught me, my colleagues taught me, about staying fit within a whole ass career. I'll leave you on the final note of make the plan, execute the plan, but be okay if occasionally the plan rolls down a hill really fast. It sometimes works me doing that to you, but that's okay. I know you guys can do this. Stay strong. Promise you, it's gonna feel good. You're gonna be so happy you did this. And yeah, go get that best, fittest, smartest, most genius, badass, healthy version of yourself. If you're not already, please subscribe, like, leave a comment, because I would love to hear what you thought about this. I would love to hear if you had any more tips. We have so much cool content coming up, and I'm really looking forward to just getting on that YouTube train with you guys.